Okay, howdy folks. Today's show is brought to you by Vevor. Yeah. Monday we did a show about a plasma cutter from Vevor, right there. And what I've decided to do is I want to put it right beside the other machine, so we have everything on the welding cart together, which, you know, that's the way I like to do my tools kind of thing, is to have everything in one place. So if we decide to put a shelf right here, I thought about up here, but there was a problem, and that's called access to the MIG welder. So the best solution I came up with was to have a shelf fairly high to keep this clear too, so you can use it still. So a shelf up about here that would have the two machines together was cool. This is not heavy, so it's not really adding a lot of weight to make the cart, you know, unstable or something. So that part was cool, and I've been going through all my scrap materials to try to come up with a solution, and we're going to work on that today and get a shelf on this thing. Alright, so the first thing I need to do is obviously a shelf. So I dug around my junk pile and I found this old shelf I had bought at a yard sale some time ago. Didn't know what I was going to do with it at the time, but I think this will be perfect for the project. It's a nice piece of metal, but it has a problem. I'll show you the problem. So we're going to have to do some cutting, I guess, but yeah, I have no idea. Like I said, it came from a yard sale, so for some reason it's on an angle. So I'm going to have to, looks like I'm going to have to cut the tops here, straighten this up, and then just re-weld them into this bottom piece. Then I can attach these to some angle iron, which we can attach to the cart, and hopefully also I'm going to change this to a piece of aluminum or something. But we're going to change it around so that it, you know, it's going to work. But first I got to modify these to make them work, and I'll have to cut them with, I've got a plasma cutter. Yes! From Vevor. All right. So I'm going to just heat this up a little bit with a propane torch, just kind of bend it back until I got a nice 90. Then I'll bring this piece down to where we're going to weld it back into it, so it'll be a half decent bracket at that point. Alright, and we'll just do the same thing for the other one. Of course, I don't know how that happened. I softened it up, pulled it back, did some MIG weld on it, top and bottom, and just checked it, and it's like, it's perfect. It's like, oh wow, how did that happen? Doesn't happen around here. So I bolted the old piece of lumber back on the shelf where what it came with, and just set this up with some clamps so I can just get a, I guess we'll say, proof of concept. We're at that point. And it looks like I'm going to bolt here, I'm going to bolt up here, and I'm also going to bolt over here at the front. The only thing missing out of this whole project right now is this little deal right here, and it's stiff enough I don't even think we're going to need it, but I'm going to take a look at running a piece of angle or something off of this and connecting up to here so that we can, you know, bolt into the tray in two places at the bottom. Okay, so far so good, but this is pretty unscientific. I got the first hole cut. I also cut the holes in this steel because the steel is really hard. Now I'm trying to mark the holes in the inside here as to where the bolts go. Okay, we have a mark right there, so cool. Yeah, it's a little higher on the than what I wanted, but oops, yeah, walking. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. All right, so theoretically that should be the next bolt hole. Does it line up? Actually it does. Okay, shock of shocks. Let's put a bolt in it temporarily, and then we'll mark the last hole. We'll even make the hole bigger. Oversized. Yep, trick of the trade. You just saw it today. Now I gotta find that nut. Here we go. Yeah, this ought to be fun. Get the nut out from underneath the machine. Where'd the other one go? Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, the MIG machine's kind of heavy. The plasma cutter is not. Alright, so we're ready to put the bolts on. And we just need some wrenches. I'll get some sockets and whatever, and we'll snap this up. Of course, that was before all this started. Okay. So here, after all that, yeah, here is what we're after. Okay. Yeah. Oop. Like that. In fact, I want it hooked off the front. I'm going to notch the wood out so that the feet go back into the wood a little bit, and that way it'll hold it. It's pretty good. I could put a strap around this thing just to make sure it can't get off of that shelf, but yeah, that's looking pretty decent right there. Yeah, I'm kind of liking it. And this is the only other place was that right there, which could use a little bit of, yep, definitely needs a piece of metal under there. Okay, so the next thing we're doing is cut a piece of steel for this corner down here that we couldn't reach the plate with. I took a soapstone and made a soapstone pattern here so I can just cut this out sort of freehand a little bit with the plasma cutter. Yes, I'm having way too much fun. I cut myself a flat bar piece of steel, and I'm just going to punch a hole again with this nasty drill. Yep, alright, so we'll grab the nut and the bolt, and then all we gotta do is just put a, like I said, just a little tack weld on there to secure that. Alright, we're up and running. Good. Now, let's see. It's for my protection. Well, the next step in this crazy project is to put a piece of wood on the side here just so that the machine can't slide whatever this way. And I'm just going to use a small drill bit to sort of pre-drill the pilot holes. I think we're going to need a little more yeah, than that. Yeah, there we go. And a little piece of scrap lumber cut to size so it's the same length as what we're screwing into. And there's bolts right here. So we're going to have to be on the inside here, away from it. So, yeah, so we'll just sort of eyeball it, and man, this thing is in terrible condition. I really shouldn't be using it. Cheap is cheap, right? Yeah. So we're gonna, and the card is leaving me. Neat. Okay. Alright, now throw a screw in there and see how that does. Come back here, cart. Alright. Yeah. We'll get that up there. And probably put some glue on it. Okay, there we go. And we'll drill another one, again, back over this way because of the situation with this lumber. It's not very good. Alright, and a screw. Yeah, oof. Okay, that's on there nice and tight. That's just so the machine can't come this way. I think it's a little over the top, but that just makes sure she's going to stay right there. Alright, we're continuing. I guess the next part of the next stage here is I'm going to need to make some kind of like U-brackets or something on the sides so I can store all the cable on this side of the machine. There's just so much here, like even this one is actually, this is actually the feed for the MIG, but I guess we can put it with the ground back here. I don't see why not. Yeah, that'll work, but I've still got all this up here rolled up, but other than that, yep guys, there she is, you know, 2 machines on one small welding cart on a budget. Yeah. See if I can pull that around a little bit. Yeah, square that up. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it, cool. Yeah, it does the job. So the looks good. I'm happy with it. But you know, in this case, it's kind of like, you know, if it's stupid but it works, it's okay. The only problem I've got is this cable thing, and I'm thinking maybe an old rim off a trailer or something welded to the side, and you can, you know, gather it up. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about this a little bit. I'm even thinking about taking all the clamps off this first shelf and clean the shelf out, and then have the cables go down into the shelf rolled up or something, so that it gives it a cleaner look or something for the time being. The MIG has got everything it needs to put the cables up, sort of thing, here on both sides. But the plasma cutter, I have no place for all of this, so it's a little bit nasty right now, and I'd kind of like to have it cleaned up, you know, a cleaner look than this, obviously. So gonna have to come up with an idea on that one. Hey, if you have an idea, comment in the description below. Give me a comment on that. I'll provide you with a link, but here's the deal. The sale thing is off for the time being, but this is the Cut 50P from Vevor. Excellent machine. But it's what they call pilot arc. In other words, it doesn't have to touch the metal when it's cutting. And the prices on this stuff is like everything else, going up right now. I was at a restaurant last night, and I think I paid about $6 more for the same meal that I've always ordered. And so it's like, yeah, everything, and it had just gone up a few months ago. It's just gone up again. So prices seem to be just, you know, soaring up. But this plasma cutter, I'll tell you, I hate to use the old cliche, it's a game changer. And it's a lot of fun, because you just hit the switch and cut, you know. It's like, you can't beat that. Now I understand why people like them so much. In the meantime, I want to thank you all for watching Coffee and Tools. Please like, share, subscribe, ring the notice bell. And we've got some, you know, freebie stuff giving away when we get a chance. I think maybe next week. Monday, I've got, yeah, a box here from Vevor, 65 pounds worth of it. It's got great price and great features, and in fact the features surprised me. So, and that's really where I am really surprised, because I was not expecting what came in the door. I looked at the features and said, wait a minute, this is actually better than the one I've got, you know. So anyway, see you guys Monday, I hope. Meantime, have a great weekend, everybody, and if you decide to do something like this, yeah, make your own plan. Over and out.